Hi everybody, how are you doing? This is your favorite host, SJS Rana, Swenderjit Singh Rana, reporting for April 15th, 2022, time about 1300 hours UTC. We have gone through some of the topics in past. This is going to be my fourth video for this year 2022, and we're going to cover some topics here. So first come first, the Ukraine war, where it is leading us to. Ukraine-Russia war, I've covered a lot of contents on it. I guess there's a recent article on Yahoo which is indicating that we are in World War III situation. I think this is my original prediction. I've been past all these 8-9 months. I've been telling that we are getting up for something big. And for past 2 months since February 24th launch of aggression by Russia, I've already predicted that it's precursor to World War III. However, I refrained using it because there are situations that's going to develop. There are some peace negotiations which can occur, but if those thin lines we don't find it, then this is what's going to happen. So this Donbas region is going to be quite active. Okay, folks, quickly moving on. As I mentioned yesterday, I was quite enthralled with the performance of Elon Musk going live on TED, and I watched the whole episode. I was quite excited to hear Elon Musk, a visionary entrepreneur on this planet Earth. Also, this was a live telecast which I saw on Bloomberg. So Bloomberg was covering Elon Musk. Very good statements by Elon Musk, and I really liked his vision. And the important point is he is offering to buy Twitter, complete social media Twitter giant, so that it can be refined, it can become quite truthful, and it can exercise free speech. Because right now Twitter is a mafia. It's controlled by mafia board management. It's sort of a on-policing policy. They're like a police of the world for social media, freedom of speech. So Elon Musk is doing a great job there. Also, his vision on the truth, the fundamental aspect of human being, and how he's relying upon the fact that he is so fond of being truthful and understanding the nature of the truth from conscious level to cosmic level. I really liked his thoughts on it, which he elaborated yesterday. And once again, kudos to Elon Musk, and we hope he gets good success. So further, I am uploading this video right now on April 15th, 2022. However, for some strange reason, I've been finding this error again and again on YouTube. So you can see it says failed metadata not saved, could not be saved, video information unavailable, or cannot save the video information. So this is some strange message I'm getting from YouTube channel recently for past 2 weeks. And hi everybody, how are you doing? This is your favorite host, SJS Rana, reporting for April 15th, 2022, time about 12:30 hours UTC. So 12:30 hours UTC. So today there are going to be some topics which are more important. I have released 4 videos prior to this in year 2022, and what we are going to look at more closely today is briefly touching various important global geopolitical points and some of the developments which are going on. So first come first, let's quickly review how the Ukraine crisis is developing. More often that we hear that Ukraine has formidable resistance towards the Russia aggression. However, Russia has gone through many setbacks recently, from Moscow warship, which was sunk recently by Ukraine Neptune missile allegedly. However, the Russia authorities still claiming that it was unexploded ammunition which exploded on Moscow warship. However, the Neptune missile was launched by Ukraine as per their claims. We see this was again next escalation, which is going to the same direction of World War III. So folks, the escalations are coming one by one, and as I've been predicting earlier that this is development of World War III. So if you go back and Google search my original article June 2019, where I predicted #MAY2020WW3, where I've detailed how things are going to progress now for 9-10 years. The whole world will be in war situation. So apart from pandemic, which we are still fighting as a war, this Russia-Ukraine invasion and much more is coming up, folks. Because if you look at how NATO is pushing the whole ball game, we're going to see this is going to develop into some more complex, complicated systems. Because right now all the neighboring states of Russia are getting activated. Poland, Austria, all these are getting activated by NATO again. So going forward, this is going to again escalate, as I predicted in my last video. For next 2 weeks, next 2 weeks are very, very prominent, very, very important to watch, and they're going to be precursor to World War III situation. Also, recently with India and US having the meet 2+2, what they call, I don't understand why they call 2+2. There is no 2+2 sense in it. It's 2, 2. So basically, US is talking something, India is talking something, but basically planning something entirely different. As you have seen how India junked US ST1 clearance, COMCASA, and even SPAC agreements, India has already junked. So US keep thinking that, oh, India is trying to cooperate or is abiding by the negotiations, whereas India has been junking US negotiations agreements for at least this whole decade. Reason being simple, because India is totally aligning with Russia. If you look at how it has acquired S-400 anti-missile defense system from Russia, even being totally belligerent towards US appeals or US pleading India not to buy it. So US keeps pleading India, but India doesn't care anymore of the US, and that's how it is appearing. And apparently all other NATO nations are paying heed to India, how US keeps pleading India every time. So apart from that, if you look at how again in this recent conference, April 11, April 12, 2022, US was pleading India, Biden was pleading, administration pleading India again, that somehow try to cooperate with us. But India doesn't care of the US now anymore. It is just trying to leverage the jobs or the other immigration profile of Indians towards the America, but other than that, it is not having any interest in US. It's because it wants to get the defense deals from Russia, it wants to get the cheaper oil, resources and technological exchanges. That's the reason why India is now more in line towards the Russia. Even in these recent UNHRC voting or UNSC voting, India has been completely silent. It has never said openly in voting that okay, it's trying to oppose the war, the aggression from the Russia. So basically, it's saying I'm fine totally if you invade Ukraine or if you bomb Ukraine. India doesn't care. So that sort of empathyless state India is developing into. And what more can be said that recently US and the highest delegation of the US also slammed India for very poor track record of human rights. So India is belligerent on that. India will always recoil back and say, oh, US has the worst performing human rights record. So every world community knows the difference between the human rights records of India and the US. So India can keep claiming anything because India government believes that 1.4 billion population can't be wrong, because India government believes that they represent always and every time 1.4 billion population, and if India is doing something, the world must applaud or appreciate. So that's the misconception India is trying to indoctrinate the whole world with, and I think in time to come it's going to become more serious and severe for the world. World has to decide what kind of judgment or what kind of moral and ethical standards India is standing, how much empathyless India is becoming, and it must judge on that accords, not let alone on the GDP or population explosion that India is offering to the world. So 1.4 billion population has big strength, obviously, but does it make any sense towards the development or sustainability for the whole world, or basically the human rights, global human rights, universal human rights for the whole world? That's the question. So I'll give you an example where the biggest fight is going on the domestic front in India, whereas in the marriages of India is having 1.4 billion population. Obviously, it is having at least 500-600 million population who are married, at least 600 million. So they are still fighting the battle of marital rapes, and despite every now and often there are claims from India Females Organization that they want to have marital rapes law in India, but India government is totally not budging to provide any respite to Indian females, married females especially. And despite their suffering a big time for the claims and for the reports, India government has been totally belligerent on giving any sort of respite on this. So this is how we come to know how the nation is behaving. Obviously, we know India is known as the world rape capital of the world. Especially sexual batteries are too common in India. There are pedophiles racing across streets, pedophiles racing and honking across the streets. They are very common sightings. Anytime anybody can tell you, yes, these people we see around, and they are basically tagging or surveillancing the females, counting the females around. And this is how this whole organized mafia or criminal cartel is developing in India, and they are basically doing trading of females behind the scenes. So these sort of things are coming up, and obviously India government is trying to crack down on this organized trade, organized criminal trafficking of females, drug mafia. But how far has it been able to sustain, to curtail it is a question. Apart from these imposters, impersonators, which are quite popular, India is known for phone spoofing technology, imposters, impersonators who would go around neighborhood and keep befooling the other people. Because the best strategy they deploy is to block the communication. So many times India government is also slammed by World Health Organization that is trying to block the communication of human rights activists. Because I've personally seen that. I've been a human rights activist, social cause activist, philanthropy for last 12 years while I've been in India. But I've seen quite big resistance or curtailment or try to subversion tactics by the government. Even to an extent, I've reported many times that EM weapons are being used around my house. So they have housed some military grade EM equipments very proximity to my house, and they use at different hours to beam the EM weapons directly on me. However, I try to change my location because I sense it just like that. I don't need any equipment, I don't need any device to sense that EM weapon is being used. But I've sensed number of times. I've sent this request and updates to the world, because from satellite, US, Russia, China can always track these human rights violations of EM weapons being used on civilians, military grade EM weapons. So this is some of the human rights concern India is developing into, and I don't know what kind of empathyless state it's going to become in future if such incidents continue on innocents. So anyways, folks, moving on to this Omicron XC, new mutated virus we have seen. Obviously, China is having a big time problem dealing with this lockdown again, and I have seen recent video uploaded where the residents were trying to have uphill battle with the local authorities. They don't want to go through lockdowns because they were being evicted from their apartments or the building where they've been residing. Because of the lockdown measures, they have to accommodate isolation, or what they call as the COVID-19 ward. So all these things are developing. World is still not free from it, as I predicted many times, that world governments are thanking pedophiles, these sexual predators who are daily infecting multiple host body, females host body, because they're basically adapted towards multiple host female bodies, which they are infecting. They can't live without it. These pedophiles predators are very common, and they are the cause number one for mutations and pathogens. And India is known as a rape capital and also pedophiles capital, because there are many pedophiles predators who are doing such shady business every day and night, and delivery of females are seen across many neighborhoods at night hours because of this metaphor against mafia. So I'll discuss more on this topic when you watch ahead in this series, how these people play games and what these people are up to. But anyways, we move forward with the next important thing which is going to develop now, is how the world financial market are going to come up back from the COVID-19. See, COVID-19 has given a lot of opportunities to many health sectors, to vaccine makers, to other people, but at the same time it has dented most of the economy of the world GDP. But world GDP has been further dented by the Ukraine war, and I guess the India GDP has fallen down much lower than they estimated or they've been projecting. So right now Moody's been downgrading India, and it may come up as a shocker to most of the investors of the world that India may announce sub 8% GDP. Well, it was traversing above 12% just 2 years back, but now it's going to announce sub 8% GDP FY23, FY24 for India. That's the reason why Moody is trying to advise investors that it must move from India to South Africa, because there are many geopolitical ball games, even Russia, Ukraine war, India involvement, and 2+2 or 2.2 meeting, which has been as a failure, I guess, with US and India, may also impose sanctions on India, at least financially, if not otherwise. So we see all this thing going on. Further, we will see major important development is how they're going to take up with the coming in fact of the social media control. So as I've discussed last, folks, I'm very excited to announce that Web 3.0 is in development, is making, they may announce it very soon. So this is going to be a very good feature for world community to traverse into, because Web 3.0 is bound to give you a much more secure platform and much more non-centralized platform. So paying heed to this, Elon Musk has been very close watcher of this new section, and I see yesterday I was very pleased to watch Elon Musk live on TED. UK hosted this event, and they were asking very great questions, and I could sense what Elon Musk is trying to say to world community as well as future of the planet, because he is a visionary also. He has gone through his uphill battles, and I was amused by his statement that he knows manufacturing. He knows manufacturing so well that nobody alive on this planet knows manufacturing so well. So I really applaud his understanding, his vision, and his future development plan. So I think other thing which Elon Musk indicated was complete buyout of Twitter, because this Twitter social media giant has been on the social media for some while now. But I think there are apprehensions from most of the world community who simply dislike Twitter for their policing, for their totally heavy-handedness on innocents, on human rights activists. So Twitter has been acting like a mafia. Their board members have been acting nothing less than a mafia. They have their own policy. They are very vindictive. They don't even give any published claims as to why they will suspend any account for no reason. Recently, when Elon Musk had the stakes up by the shares of Twitter, it was giving the much needed boost on the capitals gained by Twitter. But Twitter wanted to have Elon Musk in its board membership. However, it was not surprising for me that Elon Musk totally declined to join the board member of Twitter. The reason is being simple, folks. I've been telling it again and again. Twitter board is nothing more than a mafia. It's an organized cartel who are working for some organized mafia underground world, who wants to massage the information or present the information the way they like it. So the freedom of speech is totally curtailed, is totally denied on Twitter. Twitter only likes to put the official version, because most of the government accounts are in Twitter. So let's say if India is having a Twitter account, or all of its officials, so India government is going to pressurize a much higher stake, because it will say, hey, I have 1.4 billion population, you do as I say. So it dictates the terms on Twitter. So this is how it is. Twitter is not abiding by some international human rights guidelines or international standards, but it is becoming a policing agency. And that's why Elon Musk has reluctantly been trying to take up the shares, but totally declined openly that it won't join the Twitter's board of members, because it doesn't want to be a part of such cartel. Obviously, now the other good thing is that complete buyout has been offered by Elon Musk, because Elon Musk is trying to acquire this company as a full, so that it can give to the world community to have a free speech, exercise free speech for all the development thoughts and what the humanity requires right now. So this is a very good development. I think everybody should applaud Elon Musk's initiative. I'm fully endorsing it, because that's such visionary world needs. All these entrepreneurs who are trying to build up big empires, they must also be empathiful people. They should also look at sustainability, future energy developments, just like Elon Musk is trying to put great efforts to bring latest kind of batteries, so that it can have good retention of produce electricity on the world scale. We can have a sustainability, we can have sustainable environment, we can reduce fossil fuels to entirely zero if we try to stick with the technology. And I guess these entrepreneurs like Elon Musk must be put on as the gems of the world, who are helping humanity make a leap jump towards the next evolution. And this is what the whole Earth planet should be evolving towards the advanced civilization. We should be looking very advanced, so that in case there are ETs, which people will try to again question back on me, that if the ETs look at Earth, they look at as advanced technology, not as someone backward or someone like 10,000 or 100,000 years old from them. They would never be interested in planet Earth. So folks, that's my detour. I don't want to go deeper into ET or phenomena of extraterrestrials, but I'll just skip on to the other topics. That Elon Musk has done a great job on this, and I guess one of the best thing I liked in his yesterday live telecast, live cast from the TED group, that he mentioned that he likes to be on the path of truth, and he likes to know the truth of the whole consciousness of the whole cosmos. And I think that's the real connectivity which a true human being, a true ethical, moral human being should be questioning. That why are they here for? What is the reason? What is the planet Earth offering them to be as a base? Is it temporary? Is it transitory? Or is it something to learn chapter for next extension? So this is kind of statement which is very, very phenomenal, and I really loved the way he tried to conjure up the picture of cosmic truth, evolutionary truth, and the consciousness truth. I think these three phases are very important for every human body to understand. So mind, body, and spirit, and what's the role of being truthfulness. The essence of truth is so important that the moment you start having that as a practical aspect in your life, that your every aspect is out of truth, nothing except truth, then I think the whole cosmos, the whole universe, secrets appears to you. That's the secret of Tesla, folks. You ask me what's the secret of Nikola Tesla, how was he advanced 200, 300 years way back ahead of his time? It is because he was a person who followed truth. He was a person who lived the life of the truth. And that's what the sages, the peers, the messiahs, the saints, sages, they have all done the same phenomena, folks. You ask from Jesus Christ to, I'm just divulging a bit from this esoteric world, that if you like, if you want to go back and look at the life of these messiahs or these sages like Jesus Christ, be Prophet Muhammad, be it Shri Krishna from the Hindu mythology, Buddha from this Buddha consciousness, or Guru Nanak from the latest divinity we have seen on earth. All these people have one common line, which is following the path of truth and being truthful in their life. That's how the whole cosmos revealed to them the secrets, the everything which was hidden. So this is very simple, folks. The more we try to hide when we tell lie, the more universe tries to hide things from us in that same sense. So it's a talking universe, it's a live universe, it's a live cosmos. The more we become attached, attuned to it, the more we are friendly towards the environment, towards the nature, and try less polluting nature, we are going to be more attuned towards this higher consciousness, and we will be getting more and more advanced civilization when we look at this aspect. Okay, folks, I think I have done a lot of coverage today. I'm going to take a end here to the session, and I'm going to meet you on the next session. You can watch the remaining of the series as is. Okay, take care. See you later. So, okay, this is a view graph of the sun recently being very active. Specifically, the 2987 has been spewing CMEs, and on April 11th, the filament busted, and on April 14th we had received this CM injection from Sun on Earth, which was phenomenal. Okay, folks, moving on, various topics been covered. You can always watch my video content. I've covered this CME and other things aspect in great detail. You can always go back and take a look at these my videos, which are under Surendra Jeet Singh Rana channel. I would like you to see the contents which are important. Over here, this view graph which I'm putting up here is the video Untitled, because there is a metadata error coming on the YouTube for some strange reason. Past 2 weeks I have been unable to unload my contents. Anyways, moving on to the other topics. Recently there was a big deal going on over here in Punjab, India, North India, which is Punjab state, where the private schools were closed on April 11th. To mark the protest against the arrest of the managing director of the school on rape. There was some rape in the premise, and they had arrested the MD because they want someone responsible for the whole thing, whole episode of a minor girl which was 4 or 5 years old. Can you imagine? The whole private schools for the Punjab protested against this arrest, and they closed the school. So what kind of population we are finding here, or predators are mostly getting promoted. Anyways, folks, recently there was shooting also here, and this was another unsolved incident on April 11th, which occurred in phase 5 of Sasnagar, Mohali. So a lot of gun violence is going on. I guess this is the biggest issue across the world. Post-pandemic, we're going to face the organized cartels. Criminals are going to rampage. They're going to have gun violence everywhere. Recently, we saw what happened in subway shooting, New York, and where many, unfortunately, tragically, many were injured, and because of one lone wolf predator who tried to scare everyone, intimidate, and basically had the shotgun from his handgun. He had shot many people around in New York subway. So already this was precursor, and these events were happening. I had the video on that day itself where I promoted and I congratulated President Biden for making a fresh move, new move for restricting these ghost guns. So you can see these ghost guns are in production in US right now. Many across the world are using 3D printer technology to manufacture these ghost guns, and these ghost guns are available with the online schema metadata, which is available for everyone to download and then produce it on the 3D printer. This is a scary situation, unprecedented situation in the world, where anybody can have a gun now. You don't need to go to a shop to buy a license or to get the approval from the government. Obviously in US we have the Fifth Amendment right and the other rights, which gives Americans, US citizens, to bear arms, so which is a good thing, but you can see the consequences are bizarre and dangerous, and at times it can be lethal. So we have to have gun violence control, obviously. So right now, moving on to this COVID-19 and Omicron and whatnot, pathogens are across the world circulating, and China is recently seeing the eruption of more strains of these virus or these pathogens, and they are trying to put the curb on, but there is going to be resistance which they are going to see now. And I guess it's going to become more and more evident because people across the globe are fed up with this lockdown. Obviously, we see the role of pathogens across the world because of the pedophiles. Folks, these pedophiles are enjoying multiple host body, and they're infecting every other female because they're having multiple connections or intimate host body infections where the bodily fluids are getting exchanged and the pathogens mutations are mutating. So governments can either applaud these pedophiles or predators, or they can curtail them and they can have vigilance over them. 24/7 surveillance over these pedophiles and predators must is very important right now from world governments. Okay folks, moving on to this 2 dialogue between US and the India. I think it was not having a favorable outcome for both of the nations because both the leaders, Mr. President Biden and PM Modi of India, failed to reach any major conclusion towards what they're going to do with this Ukraine-Russia war and other areas of defense cooperation, specifically the US-India agreement of STA1, COMCASA and SPAC agreements are now on the floor. So anyways, moving on to the sustainable energy development plan, recently Thailand had basically put the mark on the planet Earth by having this floating, massive floating solar panels on its river basin, and it has been able to produce 45 megawatts out of these floating solar panels. So folks, what an achievement from Thailand. Such a small nation, such a having restricted financial but still able to produce such big results is amazing. India still can't do that. India has so many rivers. India has a huge amount of rivers all across, but they still haven't even a single plan. So what kind of comparison do we have in the Asia? Look at India and look at this Malaysia. Look at this Indonesia. Look at the Thailand. These people are developing way ahead in sustainable energy and zero emission plan. India is way back, lagging behind on this zero emission plan. So Thailand, with this huge infrastructure of floating solar panels, are going to reduce the footprint of carbon emission to zero by 2050. That's their plan, and I think they're way ahead of time, and they're doing it in a big way. And we applaud Thailand and Thailand people for this innovative approach. Hopefully, India can learn something from Thailand, if not at all by itself. So we hope these big nations, high density nations, populous nations like India, China, Pakistan can learn something from these and try to reduce the emission of carbon by 2030, if not by 2050. So hopefully these people are proving the trailblazers, are giving the world the lead, the heads up, how sustainable energy, how zero emission can be achieved. And again, this is very, very wonderful news for the environment, for preserving the planet Earth and its other beings on the planet. Anyways, folks, I quickly move on to this dark matter concept. This is going to be some interesting topic right now. How the electron volts and the mass correlation is going on. We are coming up with amazing science which is unraveling how 10 to minus 22, where we find the starting point of something which is having lowest electron volt, and the mass is almost gone there. So, and when we have a high electron volt, the mass goes on increasing. And this is the same concept we see how time dilutes on these bodies, where there's a high gravitational pull, when there's a body which is very minute in the scale or carrying very low electron volts. We must have a correlation to that, which is again another topic I'm going to discuss next on. So moving on, I'm going to put up this pathogen graph, how the pathogens try to multiply. Various factors are put in to see can we have containment of these pathogens. I guess, folks, the biggest answer lies with these pedophiles or these predators who are enjoying multiple host body daily. If they can be curtailed or contained, I think pathogens war can be won easily by the governments. The governments must start putting surveillance on these pedophiles, these predators who are all across spreading. Especially the nation of India is very popular known as for pedophiles and predators who are set loose on every neighborhood, and they prey upon each and every girl and female around neighborhood, which is quite active when you hear these racing, honking vehicles across your streets, local neighborhood. So you can understand how these people are preying upon everybody in the neighborhood. So this is a trafficking mafia which is around. I also have discussed much more on metaphor games mafia, which is nothing more than befooling the world by doing some sort of arbitrary games based on some global event or some global copycats from the global leadership. They're going to put up some theme and they're going to traffic females using some methodology. Basically, they're befooling neighborhood by using such games, which is putting no results in the end. So here I have this new view graph. I have this new statement which I have released. No loss, never lose, no worries, no expectations, no legal battles, best no court cases, no crush, no love, no breakup, no stress, no tensions, no pathogens if they are multiple contact to multiple host bodies. So this is what I have released as singles are always cool. No conspiracy to rob you your love, no pathogens from other host body. So if you are a single person, you are so cool in this pandemic world that I think you should be the most attractive personality. But here I'm going to pick up my residence as example how these metaphor games mafia working in Sasnagar phase 3B2, Mohali, Chandigarh also it's known as. It's north of New Delhi, 150-130 miles north of New Delhi, and this is where I reside, 1493 phase 3B2 Sasnagar, Mohali, folks. And this is the nuisance I find every time around my neighborhood. Some imposters, some impersonators are always taking up my space, parking up their vehicles, and just you can see this vehicle is parked adjacent to the wall of my house. This is the location of my house, 1493 phase 3B2 Sasnagar, Mohali. So these are latitude, longitude, and this is the exact coverage. I see the corner house, you can see here trees are all around, and this is the corner house I reside in. I've been residing here for almost 12 years, ever since I returned from North America in 2010. So folks, you see what has been going on here is a bizarre game. People, imposters over here in the locality have started playing games around my house because they want to befool everyone that they know me or they have come to meet me. So they intentionally, purposely, deliberately park the car around my house, and then they sit there around for 2 or 3 hours for no good reason. They are not coming here to meet me, but they will just simply sit there, so that who knows, they are picking up on my geolocation, or they are calling from the cell phone, so they can impersonate as a person who has come to meet me because the cell phone will show the location. So this is what you can see around here. Is very common in Sasnagar 3 phase 3B2 Mohali, and these imposters, impersonators are all encircling my house everywhere around. There are impersonators who can be seen very often, and I'm just basically trying to put up this every time I say this. If you look at this today's incident, this was my CCTV capturing at about 17:05 hours India Standard Time. So you see that person was parking a car in front of my doorway in front of my main gate. And upon asking, I asked what was the reason you're parking. He said that I'm a taxi, I'm going to pick up some person somewhere else. So if you're going to pick some person somewhere else, or you're going to meet someone somewhere else, why don't you park your vehicle at that house? That's my simple question, folks. But they don't have the answer. Reason being, they're mostly impersonators. They're impersonating around my neighborhood, and they're trying to take benefits from what I do for last 12 years as philanthropy, as human rights activist. But the thing is, because I'm a single person, I reside by myself here. I don't have so much of time to look around what's going around my neighborhood. But these people, imposters, are all around here. You must be aware of them. Be aware of these people. They're here to befool everyone around, and they're like the impersonators. They're trying to take the benefits of everything, but they're only also playing the metaphor games around my neighborhood. So anyway, folks, I leave you with the good background music and good mind, body, spirits wishes, so that you can fight the battle which is coming up for World War III, from sun getting ballistic, and also what we're going to see as pathogens developing in time ahead. So folks, I take a leave here, sign off. I gotta leave this my front yard view of my house, 1493. You can see here some dogs, street dogs, stray dogs, they come and reside around my house. And you can see this dog enjoying this cool weather because of the trees I planted here. It's having the shade, enjoying the shade out of this sweltering heat of 45 degrees centigrade in India, which is north of New Delhi. You can see this is front yard of my house. So I basically keep spraying a lot of water around, so that these stray dogs, animals can come, the birds can come and enjoy some shade. Okay folks, I take the leave. See you later.